Hi and welcome. In this video, we are going to solve a particular problem and also learn a new concept while solving this problem. Okay, so let's see problem understanding. Given a string S, print the first non-repeating character of S. S length can be till 10 to the power of 6 from 1 and all will be lowercase characters. What is the meaning of this is, so let's take an example. For example, B, C, A, D, B, C, A, E. Fine. So the first non-repeating character of S. Let's take B. Is B repeating anywhere? Yes, B is repeating. So we will not consider this. Is C repeating anywhere? Yes, C is repeating. Is A repeating anywhere? Yes, A is repeating. Is D repeating anywhere? No, D is not repeating. Is E repeating anywhere? No, E is not repeating. So D and E are my non-repeating characters of S. Fine. D and E are non-repeating. So which one is the first non-repeating? That we have to print. So D is the answer. D is the first non-repeating character of S. Before D, each character was repeating at least once. Okay, they can repeat more than one also, but they were repeating at least once. Fine. D is the first non-repeating character of S. For example, if we take prep bytes. Now in prep bytes, P, yes, P is repeating. R is non-repeating. So R is the first non-repeating character. R is the first non-repeating character. We also have Y, we also have B, we also have T, we also have S. But the first non-repeating character is R. So R is the answer for this particular string. So given a string, we need to find out the first non-repeating character of S. That is the particular problem. Okay. Now what I want you to do is first think yourself. Okay, just on a pen and paper, take many examples and think what can be the brute force approach and what can be the optimized approach. Okay, we will see both the approaches. Fine. So first do that part. Okay, this was problem statement understanding. Now let's begin with the logic building part. So how will you approach this particular problem statement? Okay, what is the brute force method and what is an optimized approach? Let's see that. So in this, when we need to find the first non-repeating character, okay, so obviously we need to find which character is not repeating. That means which character is occurring just once. Okay, from those characters we need to find the first one. We need to find the first one. So the first point here is nothing but that we need to somehow find that how many times a character is occurring. Okay, so how many times a character is occurring. Now second point is, once you find out that which character, how many times a character is occurring, so can we directly say that which one is the first character? Yes, we can directly say it. Let's see how. So first, how will you find whether a character is occurring more than once? So given a string, that is this one, B C A D B C A E. What is the first approach that comes to your mind? The first, the most basic approach that comes to your mind, that how will you check that this character is occurring again in the string? This character is occurring again in the string or not? This character is occurring again in the string or not? What is the most basic approach that you can think of? It's very simple. It's very simple. That for this character, okay, match this character with all the other elements, isn't it? Match this character with all the other elements. That is the most basic approach. So if I select C, then match C with all the other remaining elements. Okay, and if we found C again, that means this is a repeating character. That means this is a repeating character. Okay, once we found a character which is not repeating anywhere, once we found a character which is not repeating anywhere, we will stop and print that character. That will be our first non-repeating character. Fine. So what is the most basic approach here? That for each and every character, start from the first index character. Okay, zeroth index character start, that is the first character, and for that check for the whole other string. Then if it is repeating, go to the first index character, that is the second character we have, and check for the remaining string. If it is repeating, then increment and go to the third character or the second index character. This is how we are going to move in a brute force approach. Okay, it is a very simple and direct, straightforward approach. So if my string of 0 is B, then what we need to do? String of 0 is B, correct? Then inside a for loop, we need to run from what? 0 plus 1 till n minus 1. 0 plus 1 till n minus 1. We will run a loop. We will run a loop, and in that loop, we will check whether any character inside the string is a B or not. Okay. So if my stri equals to B, okay, then I have to run a loop from I plus 1 to last, that is n minus 1 index. Okay, and for each index I have to match it with my str of I character. Okay, so how we will do it in a pseudocode method is nothing but for I equal to 0 till I less than n minus 1 till I plus plus. Okay, inside of it, let's store it inside a character ch equals to stri. Okay, now inside another loop, inside another nested loop for j equals to I plus 1, we will begin with the next character of I. So j equals to I plus 1, j less than n minus 1 and j plus plus. Correct? We will match if the string of j, index j equal to ch, then we do not have to do anything and we need to simply break. We need to simply break from the for loop, inner for loop. Correct? But how we will know, whether something is not matching, that is a character is not repeating itself? For that we will use a flag variable. Okay, for that we will use a flag variable. That means we will not directly break, but we will make a flag variable equal to 1. Correct? And then we will break. Now when we come outside of the inner loop, the outer loop will ask, the I will ask, okay, have you broken because you found a character, or your loop is over and you have not found any repeating character? So what inner loop will say, check the value of flag. If the flag value is 1, that means that means we found a repeating character. And if the flag value remains 0, that means we have not found any repeating character. Okay, so now if flag value equal to 1, what we will do? If flag value equal to 1, that means we have a repeating character. We do not have to do anything. Okay, but if the flag value is not equal to 1, that is it is equal to 0, that means in that case we need to print that character, and break from the outer loop also. Fine, and simply the program will run over here. So how this loop here is working is, for example, for B, C, A, D, B, C, A, E. Okay, this is index 0. So I value is currently here. Fine. So how this loop is simply working? Character ch equals to str of I. Okay, this is str. Str of 0 is nothing but B. Now our loop will run for j equal to 1 till n minus 1. J equals to n minus 1. Okay, and as soon as we find a matching pair, we will break from the j loop and go to the I loop. Fine. So for j equal to I minus 1, is B equal to C? No. Then j value will increment. Is B equal to A? No. Then j value will increment. Is B equal to D? No. Then j value will increment. Is B equal to B? Yes. Now the character is matching. So flag variable will become 1 and we will break from the inner for loop. Break from the inner for loop and go to this condition. The outer loop will ask, why you broke? Okay. Is your loop over, or have you found a repeating character? So since flag value equal to 1, so j will say I have found a repeating character. We do not have to print it and go to the next I. Go to the next I, do I plus plus. So now I value will be incremented. I value will be incremented to C. Now the character here is C and I plus 1 is nothing but starting here. So j is starting from A. Is C equal to A? No. Increment j. Is C equal to D? No. Increment j. Is C equal to B? No. Increment j. Is C equal to C? Yes. Flag value will again become 1. Okay. So before every j loop, flag variable should be initialized to 0. Fine. So now what we will do? This will be over. So I again will be incremented to A. We will find A also. I will be incremented to D. We will not find D. So flag value will never become 1. Okay. Before every j loop, flag value becomes 0 again. Okay. So since we will not find any D, so flag value will not become 1 and this condition will be satisfied. we will print D and we will break from the outer loop also, and the program will be completed. So this was the brute force method for solving this particular problem. Okay, a simple straightforward implementation and a pseudocode and a dry run for this particular problem. Okay, this was a brute force method. Why I am saying a brute force method is, see, the outer loop is running from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, that is till 10 to the power of 6 minus 1, which is approximately 10 to the power of 6 times. Okay, now the inner loop is running from I plus 1 till 10 to the power of 6 minus 1. In case I value is 0, it is running from 1 to 10 to the power of 6 minus 1, less than 10 to the power of 6 minus 1. This is also approximately 10 to the power of 6. So for each n loop, in the worst case, it is running for 10 to the power of 12 times. That means 10 to the power of 6 for the outer loop and 10 to the power of 6 for the inner loop. Okay, so we have 10 to the power of 12 number of operations. Okay, and the time limit for most of the questions will be around 1 second, depending on the question and the constraints. The constraints that I have chosen is till 10 to the power of 6. So for this particular question, the time limit will be 1 second, and in 1 second we cannot perform these many number of operations, so we have to optimize our code. Okay, now we will see what is the optimization of this particular problem. Fine. So first, think on your own, how can we directly find whether a number is existing or not. Okay, and then come and see the video. Now let's begin with the part of the optimization. So for the optimized part, so if we have this string, that is B C D A B C E, so in this particular string, B is coming 2 times, C is coming 2 times, D is just coming once. Okay, A is coming once, and B2, C2, and E is coming once. Okay, now this information, to get this information, we use nested loop before. Nested loop before. Okay, what if by just seeing at B, we can say that yes, it is coming 2 number of times, so ignore it. Go to C. Yes, C is also coming 2 number of times, so ignore it. Go to D. What if we say that directly? That means just seeing that, just traversing the string and just seeing, okay, it is B. Okay, seeing it that B is coming 2 times and just move ahead. Okay, and whichever is coming just 1 time, for that print it and stop the program. What if we can do that directly? So for example, if we have approach, if we have a word approach, okay, in this A is coming 2 times, P is also 2, R is 1 time, so we have to print R. We have to print R as the answer. Okay, so how we will do this? So if you just see on the screen only right now, B is coming 2, C is coming 2, D is coming 1, A is coming 1, and here also A is coming 2, P is coming 2 times. So but just by seeing this and having this table, is it really helpful? So just by seeing this, and if I have this table inside my code, so go to P and then go to P and see what is its value. It is 2, so that means P is coming 2 times. R, go to R and see its value. It is 1. It is coming just 1 time. What if I have this table directly? Okay, now this is nothing but our index and its value. So that means a type of array, a index and its value. Correct? So it is nothing but A, which is coming 2 times, P, which is coming 2 times, R 1 time, O 1 time, C 1 time, and H 1 time. So is this possible that we have indexes in the form of alphabets and their values So once we encounter A, we will go to index A. We encounter C, we will go to index C. We encounter H, we will go to index H. But right now we all know that the array indexes are integers, from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how can we map integers into characters or characters into integers? How can we say that what is P, what is R in integer format? So one of the most basic approach here to map these are using ASCII values. Small a lowercase character, starts from 97. Okay, B is 98, C is 97, 99, D is 100. Okay, so on till Z. Fine. So we can easily map this. Whenever A comes, okay, go to index 97 and increment its value. Whenever B comes, go to index 98 and increments its value. What I mean to say here is, if I have an array, okay, that array is from 0 to 127, because 97 plus 26 is around 125, I think. Okay, so this small array will work. Okay, now it has from 97, 98, 99 till 127, correct? Now whenever a comes, for example, the string is a, b, a, c, d, e. Okay, now a is coming, so whenever a comes, go to 97 and increment the value to 1. Okay, b is coming, so go to 98 and increment the value to 1. A is coming again, go to 97 and increment by 1 again to 2. C came, so C is coming just one time till now. D came, D is coming just one time till now. And E came, E is also coming just one time till now. So if I have this array, okay, so creating this array is nothing but just a single traversal of our string. Okay, we have not used any nested loop. Now if I traverse my string again, and check, go for A. So go to 97. What is its value? 2. That means A is coming 2 times. Go to B. Go to B's index. What its value? 1. So that means B is coming just one time. That means this is my direct answer. So traversing the string 2 times. First time to create this array, okay, that will store the count of each and every character, or the frequency of each and every character. Therefore, this array is also known as count array or frequency array, correct? Then traversing the string again to match the values. Okay, whichever value is coming more than once, that means that value is a repeating character. Okay, and we need to find the value with a value 1, index with a value 1. Okay, so that index is nothing but 97, 98, and 98 corresponds to nothing but B. So now we have two options. Okay, we can easily traverse this array. Itself from 0 to 127 and get the final value. Okay, whichever index is 1 first is the answer. Okay, we will map it again, or we can traverse the string again. Okay, and check which character value is 1, and we can print that character. Fine. Now there is a modification of this. There is a modification. We do not have to do 97, 98, 99 or 100. Okay, we just have 26 alphabets. So we can go from 0 to 25, where 0 represents A, 1 represents B, 2 represents C, 3 represents D, and so on, from 25, 0 to 25, where 25 represents Z. So we can map this also. We can do this also. We can map A to 0, B to 1, C to 2, D to 3, and so on. Okay. Now how to do this will be the next part of this particular video. I hope you understood what is the count array or frequency array is and how is it useful in this particular problem. And it is very, very, very useful in our string topic. Okay. It is almost used in every 4 to 5 questions of C. Fine. So let's see how to map from 97 to 0, 98 to 1 directly. How to convert a character into an integer, or an integer into a character. Okay, I am talking about A to Z characters, A to Z. Okay, how to map A to Z characters to integers. Okay, or how to map 0 to 25 to A to Z. Fine. So let's see how to do that directly without using 97 and 98 and forming an array of 127 size. We can do that directly by forming an array of just 26 size. Let's see that part. Now let's answer this question. How to convert a character A to 0, B to 1, C to 2, and so on from Z to 25. So how to do that? So we will be using for this also our ASCII values. Okay. Now A ASCII value is 97, B ASCII value is 98, C ASCII value is 99, D ASCII value is 100, and so on. So if I want to map B to 1, that is nothing but 98 minus 97. If I want to map C to 2, that is nothing but 99 minus 97. If I want to map D to 3, that is nothing but 100 minus 97. Okay, and if I want to map A to 97, I hope you understood, that is nothing but 97 minus 97. So if you want to convert a character and to map it from 0, 1, 2, 3, how you will map it? It's very simple. It is nothing but stri, the character, minus its ASCII value, minus its ASCII value. Okay. Now when you subtract it, the ASCII values will be subtracted. The ASCII values will be subtracted by the compiler. Okay. The ASCII values will be subtracted by the compiler. So if string is nothing but ABCA and I is nothing but 0 at this moment, so it is nothing but 97 minus 97. So it is saying that at index 0 increment 1. Increment 1 at index 0. Then I will increment to B. Now it is saying that 98 minus 97. So it is saying at index 1 increment 8. Now at next is 99 minus 97 because I value is C. So it is simply saying that 99 minus 97 is 2. So at index 2 increment 1. Then again A comes. So it is saying at index 0 increment by 1 again. Okay. So this is how our array will be formed. Fine. So using ASCII value subtraction we will be doing this. Okay. So let's now write a simple pseudocode for our program. Okay. So what will be the pseudocode for our program? It's a very simple pseudocode. Fine. We will be taking input of our string. First step is taking the input of our string. Okay. So we will take string as the input. Next step is declaring a frequency or a count array of size 26. Fine. Now we have to fill this array. How we will fill this array is for I equal to 0 till I less than our string dot length. Okay. And I plus plus. In this, in our frequency array, we need as index in our frequency array, we need as index nothing but the mapping that we have done. Correct. We need at our index nothing but the mapping that we have done. Okay. If I value is 0, so str0 minus 97, right? Okay. And if my string is abc, then str0 is nothing but a, so 97 minus 97 is nothing but 0, and we need this 0 value inside here. So that means here we will write str of I minus 97. Okay. And increment this value by 1 each time. Increment this value by 1 each time. That means in the beginning we have to initialize all the values to 0. Inside all the 26 values should be 0 from 0 to 25. All the indexes should have value 0. Okay. We'll increment it based on the mapping that we have just seen before. Okay. Now we have our frequency array. Now we have that A is coming 2 times, B is coming 1 time, C is coming 1 time. Okay. By mapping from at 0 index 2, at 1 index 1, at 2 index 1. Okay. Now these are my indexes, these are my values. Now simply run a loop either on the string, okay, either on the string, because we have to run a loop on the string in this particular problem because we need to find the first non-repeating character. Okay. If you run the loop on the frequency array, then you will say that B is the answer. But what if it was ACBA? Okay, that means C is the answer. So we should not run the loop in this particular problem on the frequency array, but on the string. Okay. So now run a loop on the string. Same. For I equal to 0, I less than string dot length, str dot length, I plus plus. Fine. Now in this, what we need to do? We simply need to check the index of the frequency array for that particular character. Now inside of it, just check if the frequency array index for that particular character, that means str of I minus 97, okay, is equal to 1 or not. If it is equal to 1, then print that particular character, that is print str I, and break the loop. We have found our first non-repeating character. Okay. If its value is just 1, that means it was coming 1 time. Okay. That means we have found our first non-repeating character. Okay. For this particular case, A was 2, C was 1, and B was 1. Correct. So when we go from I equals to 0, that means this. So it will go to index 0. At index 0, it will find that the value is 2. Okay. So it will not come inside the if condition. It will loop back again. I plus plus. I will increment to C. Now C value is 2. So it will go to frequency of 2. Frequency of 2. At frequency of 2, it finds out that the value is nothing but 1. Okay. Since it is exactly equal to 1, it will go inside, print the character C. Okay. It will break from the loop and the code will be over. We have found the first non-repeating character. Fine. So this was the whole logic for this particular program. We have seen the brute force approach, we have seen the two types of frequency and the count array. First, where 97, 98 were the indexes, and second, where 0 to 25 are the indexes. Okay, we have seen the use of frequency arrays. So frequency arrays are used in so many conditions. If you want to find duplicate characters, non-duplicate characters, okay, how many times a character is occurring. So for all these purposes, frequency or count array is used. Okay, so this was the video on logic building. So let's see the implementation part of that particular problem. Okay, so we are inside a test case loop so that we can test it out for several test cases. Okay, take the string input. So string str equals to sc dot next. Fine. After taking the string input, create a frequency array. Frequency array of size 26. Okay, new int 26. Fine. Then populate the frequency array. Int I equal to 0, I less than str dot length I plus plus. Frequency of, now what we have to write, the index. What is the index? That particular characters mapping that I have explained you. So character is str dot char at index I minus 97. Okay, plus plus. After this, for int I equal to 0, I less than str dot length I plus plus. In this, what we have to do, even if just the first character that we find whose value is exactly equal to 1, we will print it and we will break. Correct? So if the frequency array, okay, how we'll find the character index? So stri minus 97 is equal to 1, is equal to 1. So in this, what we have to do, we have to just check the element whose value is equal to 1. The first element that we get whose value is exactly equal to 1, we will print and we will break. Okay, so how to get the index? str dot char I minus 97. Okay, if this is exactly equal to 1, okay, its index is exactly equal to 1, its value is exactly equal to 1, then print it out, then print that particular character. Okay, str dot char I and break the loop. We found our answer, so just break the loop. So this was the code for this particular problem. Let's run the code, test it out with several test cases, just see what are the different test cases possible. Okay, to learn how to create different test cases. So let's test for 10 test cases. What if we just have a single character v? That should be the answer, but it is not printing the answer. So there has to be some mistake in our code. There has to be some mistake. Okay, so let's now debug the code. Fine, let's debug the code and see what can be the mistake. Because for v, it should print that v is a non-repeating character and we should have gotten the answer. So let's test it out with several test cases, okay, and see what different types of test cases are possible. What if we just have a single element v? That should be the answer. Yes, that is the answer. What if we have two elements, both are non-repeating? So answer should be A. In this case, the answer should be B. What if the first one is repeating and the second one is not repeating? So A should be the answer. What if the last one is not repeating? So that should be the answer. Okay. What if nothing is repeating? Okay. So have we handled this case? Because we are not getting the answer. We have not handled that case. So if the problem statement says that definitely a character will be present that will be non-repeating, then this code is perfectly fine. But if the problem statement says that you have to print -1 or something if all the characters are repeating and there is no non-repeating character, you have to print -1 in this case. In such cases, we need to print -1. So how to handle that? So let's see how to handle that part now. Okay. So we will be using a flag variable. So what this flag variable will indicate? This flag variable value initially is nothing but 0. Okay. And as soon as we print something, its value will become 1. Okay. As soon as we print something, its value will become 1. Flag equals to 1 after a printing statement. Okay. Now in the end, we will check whether flag equal to 0. If it remains 0 after this loop, that means nothing was printed. That means nothing was printed and all the characters are repeating characters. So that means in that case we need to print -1. Okay. If its value remains 0 after this loop, okay, that means nothing was printed, because we say that after a printing statement we will make flag value equal to 1. That means flag value equal to 1 will indicate something is printed. But if flag value remains 0, that means nothing is printed. Okay. And we will handle this case and now run the code and see whether we have handled it correctly or not. So let's see for BBBB. So it is -1. BCBC A C. So A, no, -1. Okay, ABC, AB, ABC. So C is the answer. So we have tested out with several cases now. Okay, so we are getting a correct answer for each one of them. So this is the code for the particular problem of finding the first non-repeating character inside a string. Fine. Thank you.